Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Today we're going to see my team selection for the upcoming Gameweek 20. Before diving into Gameweek 20, I want to apologize for a little bit of a hectic schedule that I'm having, as that midweek fixture between Arsenal and Brentford slowed down the things a bit. But from next week I'm going to lay down my plan and I'm going to say to you how I'm going to approach the future weeks and how I'm going to plan to upload videos in general. Yes, this can change because different weeks prepare different stuff and be around more and more content, specific content. But yeah, there will be a general overlay. Today we're going to focus on my team review for game week 19. Once again, I was on a green arrow, 18k at the moment. That's my second best rank overall ever, so I'm pretty happy about it. I will talk about my Cunha replacement because I was a Cunha owner and I'm still am, but most probably that will be the transfer that I will be doing. Then we're going to go my Gameweek 20 team, and then we're going to discuss my transfer plans, what I see about my team, how I'm going to go forward with it, and what I want to do with it. If you want to support me and show your appreciation of the content, or if you want just to support me, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming at 2,500 subscribers. I know it's a big goal for me, as 500 subscribers I managed to gain like in 4 or 5 months, but if I manage to do it as quickly as possible, that would mean the world to me. I want to spread my knowledge and my thoughts with more and more people. UCL Fantasy and FPL content videos will be coming your way, so if you enjoy any of them, don't be hesitant and subscribe to the channel. You can like the video if you're already part of the community, because that will promote it to a broader audience. You can leave down a comment, and now let's go and see how I did in game week 19. This is how I did in game week 19. I got 90 points, which is a pretty good total tally. I know that a lot of players went and earned more points, but I'll be quite happy with this from 10 players because I have only 10 players playing. My old rank was 28.6k, now it's 17.6, so that's like 11,000 places up, and being so high, those places means a lot. And even though I did not get the most amazing of score, I still think I did pretty alright, and I had a big benching issue. So yeah, we are going to go through all of it. As mentioned, we had only 10 players playing, with Sanchez not starting against Ipswich. To be fair, he would have earned me only 1 point, which would have made it better for my rank and my points, but it's not the end of the world. Yes, you are most probably right if you think that if Sanchez was playing, maybe the game wouldn't have ended that way. You're probably correct, but we'll never know. For a direct replacement for Jorgensen, I would say 1 pointer. It wouldn't have been amazing, so I'm not too bothered about it. Should I be looking at Sanchez replacements? Probably, but I never was a keeper manager, so looking at them, it's quite difficult. I will guide you through my thought process for the next weeks and probably see a way to include a keeper from a specific team. But for now, I'm just keeping Sanchez. I think he starts next fixture. After that is Gabriel, my transfer for game week 19. In hindsight, I could have kept Timber because that was my transfer and handled the Sanchez situation. I would have went with Sales, and Sales would have kept me a clean sheet. Timber only 1 point because he received a yellow card and now is banned for game week 20, so that's what exactly I was expecting, for Timber to be banned. And then I would want an Arsenal defender for game week 20 because they face a Brighton team, and me going without an Arsenal coverage when Timber would have been banned and then I did not own Gabriel did not sound pretty good for me, and I decided to pull the trigger. Yes, it didn't pay off, but usually my transfers don't pay off after I brought them in, so I bring them in. So yeah, I think that Gabriel in hindsight was a side move, but it looks better and better with each day that I made it, so I'm happy with him. Even though Arsenal are conceding some goals, I think that he is such a threat from set piece and he will be pretty vital for my team going forward, and specifically not hurting my rank. Because he was the biggest threat against my team and I'm not quite happy with it. After that is Gvardio, 6-pointer. To be fair, that was not guaranteed, that was not given, and it almost went away at the end, but 6 points. I think I'm delighted with that performance. As you can see on the bench, there is a 12-pointer, and if you combine Gabriel and Gvardio, they are not reaching the whole numbers, but I was never playing Ho instead of Gabriel, Gvardiol and Trent. That's the issue with Ho at the moment in my team. He's in it, but I'm not playing him. He's there just as a safety option. And to be fair, with the flu that was going around the Arsenal team, easily Gabriel would have missed that game, and Ho with that 12 points would have been amazing. But yeah, let's not get picky. I got a lot of returns from him, like the goal, the 2 assists that he performed, then 2 clean sheets. I was pretty happy with the returns, and now sitting on the bench to cover my issues and then improving the fixture run for Newcastle. I think it's a good player to own on your bench, so you can easily rely on him if an injury occurs and you don't want to make a transfer or take a hit. The final defender that played in my team was Trent, and that was what I was expecting against Leicester. He delivered it against West Ham, so I'm more than happy with the performance that Trent delivered. Clean sheet, 3 bonus, a goal scored. Should have had more assists to his name because they missed some easy chances, especially Salah. But at the end of the day, 15 points, you cannot ask for more. And Dar O'Shea is the last defender that I got on the bench. To be fair, he outscored Gabriel, but I was not ever playing him. I like having O'Shea and Winks on the bench. Let's discuss Winks now as well. They are players that are going to bring me points if an issue arises to a lot of players in my team and I want to resolve to my bench or a game. For example, like Liverpool's game is postponed and I want someone to cover it. I have 3 playing players, but they're not costing a lot of money. So yeah, I was okay seeing Dar O'Shea keeping a clean sheet, and Harry Winks a 2-pointer performance, just as expected. Now in midfield, let's start with Salah. I feel pretty robbed because he could have scored way more. 4 big chances missed. That's a lot of points. Like, if he had scored 2 more, that's 20 points more, and they would have been probably Trent's assist. So that's 6 points more. So basically, he cost me 26 points with those misses. But let's be real, still 16-pointer. It's an amazing feat. Again, I captained the best player in my side. Honestly, I'm not taking any credit for it because he's left there. Even if I feel sick and cannot reach my team, Salah will be my captain throughout eternity. So yeah, Salah 32 points, pretty good. Palmer, my vice captain. There was a big dilemma between him and Salah before the start of the week. I went with Salah solely because I'm a Liverpool fan and I want to see Liverpool perform, and when they perform I want to celebrate. And if they perform and I don't captain Salah, that's like hurting my rank massively. So that's why I went with Salah. It was a completely 50-50 decision. Palmer hit the crossbar twice, so he could have easily scored more points than Salah. That would have meant 15 points from Palmer, so basically the same score unless something else happened with the points, etc. But yeah, I mean, those of you that went with Palmer, I think it was still a right decision, so I would not put any blame on it. It was just a bad outcome at the end of the day. So yeah, Palmer missed the points, but could have scored easily at least 2 goals. Then Bryan Mbeumo against Arsenal, he opened the score, and I was pretty happy with the way that he played, even though he gifted them the first goal, and that cost him the clean sheet points, etc. But yeah, 7 points, it's a pretty okay number. In a game against Arsenal, he was almost there for the bonus point, but like made a mistake on a dribble at the end of the game, and that cost him 1 point down, but he could have been on 8 points. Still 7 points. He now is, I think he's a 100 points club, I'm not exactly sure, but at the end of the day, I think that he's a brilliant player and I'm not going to say anything against him. And I think that, yeah, I'm happy that I kept him because since a lot of players offloaded him, he scored 3 and assisted 1. So that's a pretty good return ratio for a player that had a hard difficulty fixture run. The last player here is Luis Diaz. Amazing performance, scored the opener, should have had more attacking returns honestly, but 9 points went on the bonus points as well. Clean sheet. That's what you expect from Luis Diaz. Now, a game against Manchester United, you expect even more from him. Up front, the highest scoring striker of my team was João Pedro, the guy that everyone, including me, felt pissed off by him. But still, I kept him and he repaid with those 9 points. I think it's a good return. Basically, my differentials this week, Gvardiol, Trent, Mbeumo and Pedro returned all of them. and Diaz. So all of my differentials, the players like Gabriel, Palmer, and Cunha, who weren't differentials, honestly blanked. 5 points between them. Everyone else, apart from Salah, who is never going to be a differential ever again. But yeah, Guardiola, Trent, and Bumu Diaz and Pedro were the wildcard picks in my team, and they all delivered. That's why I'm on a 10. I'm on an 11k green arrow with 10 players playing. But yeah, Joao Pedro 2 Jamie assists, steal assists, so I will take those. Isaac scored once again. This guy 6 consecutive games with a goal. Now he will be facing Spurs, so I think that this will go to 7. But let's see. Cunha, slightly unlucky, but after the luck that we had with him for several weeks in a row, I could not be bothered about it. He went off with an injury at halftime. Now he's banned. Now he's suspended. And now he's probably injured. So yeah, Cunha played an amazing part into my team, and he was just an amazing addition from my wildcard, because everyone was hesitant. Should we keep him? Should we not? But after the new manager arrived, he was just brilliant. That sums up my Gameweek 19, 11k green arrow. I think that's an amazing green arrow. I don't know if ever I'm going to get another 11 game week arrow if I keep those ranks, because 11k means I'm into the 6k, and that's so far ahead. It means that my players need to just evaporate everyone else, and everyone else should not score. That's never happening, but until I get green arrows, I will take them. It's a completely different experience since wildcarding, starting in 330k. Now I'm in 17k, so the wildcard will count as a success. The mad thing about it is that I am 156 points away from first place, and I'm closer to 1.5 million than to first place, which is quite mental. But yeah, we'll keep fighting. We have a lot of chips on our back. We will have to prepare an amazing chip strategy, but that's a topic for a completely different video. So now let's go and see my Cunha replacement, because he's suspended, and then we'll move swiftly into my Gameweek 20 team selection. Here is my replacement for Cunha. I would not be surprising anyone by going for Chris Wood. You would say that this is an obvious move and an easy out. Yes, it is, and I'm not afraid to do it. Cunha dropped in price yesterday for me, so I would be selling him for far less money than wanted, 6.8 if I'm not mistaken, but his current price is 7 million. Chris Wood, if he does not rise in price tonight at recording, I'll be waiting for all team news, because I already lost so much money on that move. I would not be losing any info. That's like believing in my strategy, but until something happens strange, I bail out. No, I'll be keeping it until the end, probably doing the transfer either on Friday night or on the deadline stream. Wood has Wolves, Liverpool, and Southampton. I know that Liverpool is a hard game, but first of all, Wood is the most brought-in player in the game currently this week. Secondly, he is the biggest threat around my rank. You say that I'm chickening out and I'm putting players that are not going to hurt me just to be safe. Yes, I think that's the best way to approach this time of the year. Like, you're not gaining that much, in my opinion, if you go that differential around my rank, but you can lose a lot by making silly transfers, like something that you don't believe in. So yeah, I'll be going for Chris Wood, because 2 okay fixtures apart from the Liverpool game. After that, you can keep him for a little bit of a time. You can keep him indefinitely, because this guy is returning regularly. But yeah, price is right. I'm gaining a little bit of money if I don't lose on another price rise. I am keeping my structure the same, and I quite like my structure at the moment. I don't like any changes to it. And then I will have the possibility to rely on him against Southampton, which is pretty important, I would say. And I think just Forest are doing amazingly well. Elanga and Gibbs White are clicking at the moment, and that would mean more and more better performances from Chris Wood, in my opinion. So yeah, I think Chris Wood is the move to go. Around my rank, he's the biggest threat apart from Jackson, but I don't have the money for Jackson, so I'll be going for Chris Wood. He has a good fixture run in a couple of weeks. I'm a little bit late, I would say, so I'm getting basically reactive points all the time, but I don't feel afraid doing that at the moment. If I'm chasing, probably wouldn't be doing a similar approach, but around my rank, you understand why I want to maintain it and then increase it with the chips, while other players have used triple captaincy, free hits, probably bench boosts, and I want to be structured. Some are using already the wild card for Gameweek 20, so I want to get ahead of that curve by maintaining a solid rank and then pushing up ahead. I think that's the best move, and with those save moves, I'm keeping the climb up in the ranks. I have a little bit of a differential player in Gw20, which is so funny to say, in Luis Diaz. He's there. Trent is not that massively owned. Joao Pedro is a penalty taker who takes some points. So yeah, I would say that I have the players to climb up a little bit. Yes, I have a lot of players that can hurt me. I cannot own everyone, but Chris Wood is a step in the right direction, moving away from Cunha, who can hurt me, to another player that can hurt me. So yeah, Chris Wood is the player that will be going in. So now let's see how my team looks for Gameweek 20 and how I'm going to approach the captaincy and the benching headaches that once again I will have. Here is how the goalkeeper lineup looks for me in Gameweek 20. I have 0.4 in the bank, so I cannot move swiftly left, right and center. I have one transfer still not made. I will include the player that I mentioned in the previous section here, but it's not yet confirmed. Have in mind that this would and might change the a better word. But yeah, Sanchez against Crystal Palace, I think he's starting 1000%. I don't see him being benched 2 weeks in a row. I don't see a reason for it. And now Chelsea are having each week games, 1 game per week in the Prem. So I think Sanchez will be nailing down that position. I think that Jorgensen plays in the FA Cup. If they proceed, then he will have one more fixture, so on. And then in Europe, I think Jorgensen is the guy that plays 4.8. Crystal Palace away, it's not going to be an easy game. I see Crystal Palace scoring because they're flying high at the moment. Not flying high, but in a good form. Chelsea struggling a little bit, but I see them keeping a clean sheet and winning that game, as they are 2 losses in a row and they had a draw before that. So they've lost 6-8 points in the last 3 weeks, which is massive for them, and they need to get back on that grind. On the bench, of course, it's Cahill against Arsenal. Nothing surprising here. He's a non-playing keeper and I'm never including him into the starting lineup. Going into defense, I'm once again opting for Gabriel, Gvardiol and Trent. I think that I'm not changing that back lineup for a while. Gabriel, Brighton away, 6.4. Brighton are so bad defensively. I feel like Gabriel can benefit a lot from that. I don't know from set pieces how good they are in general, but genuinely they're so bad, and I think Arsenal always find a way to score from a free kick or a corner, and Gabriel will be on the receiving end of that. And yeah, I'm not benching Gabriel. Gvardiol, West Ham at home. Now West Ham without Bowen. They have only Kudus and Stoichik, to be fair, that can terrorize the Man City defense. But I don't feel like Paqueta, Somerville, who else is there? Soler, Fulkrug, etc. will hurt that much. With Bowen out, I think that West Ham are a team to target now, even defensively. So yeah, Gvardiol, and he can score because I feel like West Ham are going 5 at the back, and 5 at the back, Gvardiol tends to tuck in good. So I see Gvardiol performing. Of course, Haaland is a way better player to own, but I don't have him at that moment, so I think Gvardiol will have to do the job. And Trent against Manchester United, I think that's a no-brainer to go for. I will be quite surprised if he does not get a single return in that game, honestly. I know there is a lot of talk about Liverpool being big favorites and very highly likely of winning that game, and that's completely deserved. But at the end of the day, it's a derby and you never know what's going to happen, but still, I feel like Trent is performing massively. Then I have Howe once again on the bench against Spurs. I think that he can contribute offensively, but I think he's conceding defensively, and that would hurt his bonus and his clean sheet points. And I genuinely believe that the 3 players onto the field will do better. Dara O'Shea against Fulham. I'm never picking Dara O'Shea unless injury arises in my team. So yeah, nothing too surprising there. I think that the team looks solid, and yeah, defense pretty nailed down and some good numbers. Moving into midfield, once again, I'm in a 3-4-3 formation. I would not surprise anyone here. Salah against Manchester United. I think that he's scoring once again. The same can be said about Diaz on the counter. They cannot defend the wings. Genuinely, they cannot defend the wings. I don't know what's happening, but left back, I don't know who is playing left back for Manchester United this picture, but playing against Salah will be awful. And right back, even if it's Mazraoui, I think that Gakpo operates in that space, and if Gakpo and Salah cross the ball, it's going to be Diaz on the receiving end, or Szoboszlai, to be fair. But honestly, Luis Diaz, I think he scores a goal in that Manchester United game at 7.6. He is a good player to own at the moment. Salah 13.6. I don't think we need to describe anything there. Then we are going to talk about Palmer against Crystal Palace. He was so unlucky not to score against Ipswich. I believe that against Palace he is going to score. Palace tend to concede a lot of goals, and in the reverse fixture they managed to steal a point from Chelsea. I don't think that's happening as of now, and I think Chelsea smashes Palace. Sorry about those Palace players owners, but I genuinely think Palmer scores a lot in that game. And then Boom against Southampton, genuinely I don't know what else to add apart from Southampton. Penalty taker, 90-minute player. I think that's all you need to know about a player if you want to rely on him. I think he's playing on the right wing, and they have issues on the wings, especially from the left side of the position. Like Sar was dominating that field, a lot of players were dominating in previous fixtures, and I still believe that Mbeumo is going to dominate massively, so he's a great option there. Harry Winks on the bench once again. Aston Villa away from home, still not going to play him unless 3 injuries arise into my team. Next up, we're going to talk about the forward line. Chris Wood against Wolves away from home. I already spoke about him for 2-3 minutes. I don't think I need to add anything more. Great player at the moment. Penalty taker, nailed. ICL one is starting in the FA Cup, so Chris Wood is getting those 80 to 90 minutes in the Prem. Isaac, not surprising, anyone there with him as well. Tottenham away, I think he's scoring once again. 9.2, he has risen 0.7 this season, and that's a lot of rising, especially when he was one of the players everyone started with, then everyone sold him, and now he's back up again. Genuinely amazing player that everyone should get. If they don't, honestly, I don't see a reason why anyone would be going without Isaac. I don't think it's worth it at all. João Pedro, maybe if you're a Haaland owner, you will be funding it by Isaac, but I think that Isaac and Haaland should be in the team together. João Pedro against Arsenal, I know that this seems strange, playing a striker against my defender, but it worked out against Brentford when I played Gabriel. My forward scored, so let's see if Pedro scores here. I'm not too worried about the Arsenal clean sheet this week because a lot of players have Timber, a lot of players are not going to rely on him. So if Pedro scores, I would be okay doing it. If Pedro doesn't, I'll still be okay. I don't think that it's a massive surprise that some teams will be going for Ho instead of João Pedro or playing their other attacker. I completely support that, but I'm not playing a defender against the forward. Even if he scored 12 points last week, he might not score it once again. So yeah, Pedro starter against Arsenal. The final thing here to talk about is captaincy, and I'm not surprising anyone by going for Mo Salah. First of all, it's a home fixture. Second of all, he's in the form of his life. And third of all, United are awful at defending. They don't have a proper left back. They cannot defend crosses. Salah tends to score so many goals against them. I think that he's getting a return. I don't know if it's going to be a high return, but at the end of the day, a return is a return. Palmer is my vice captain, as I'm never relying on a player from the same game in the same time. So yeah, if it wasn't Salah, probably Diaz was another option. Yes, Isaac is a high contender there. Gvardio is a contender, and Mbeumo is a contender, but at the end of the day, I just believe Cole Palmer. If something happens, I would like to have Cole as my vice, and yeah, that's the reason I'm going for him. That's my team selection. I hope you like it. I still haven't made the transfer. I will do it in a couple of hours probably of you watching it, or I may have already done it if you're seeing this video later. But yeah, on the stream you'll see what I've completed at the end. Now let's go and see, after doing all those transfers, how my team is possibly going to look around Gameweek 24 and 25, where things gets interesting. I'm using FPL Team to plan out my transfers and to see how they look. This is the team that I'm currently rocking with. That's the Gameweek 19 team. So for Gameweek 20, I'm bringing Chris Wood. That's an obvious move, and we move forward. We already discussed Gameweek 20 so much. Gameweek 21 is an interesting fixture because here I'll be selling Luis Diaz. You're going to say, what? Selling Luis Diaz? Are you crazy? I feel like it's time to offload the risky pick and introduce another risky pick. And that risky pick is going to be probably Ismail Sarr. You're going to say Eze is better, and you might be correct, but Sarr enables me to do several things which are going to be interesting. So Joao Pedro against Ipswich I'm keeping. I can here bench Chris Wood against Liverpool. I would not be happy with it, but I can play Lewis Hall against Wolves because against a 5-back, Lewis Hall tends to perform really well. And I don't like Chris Wood to score any goals. I think the percentage will be similar, so something like that might be possible. It will go against everything I support and everything I do, but at the end of the day, sometimes you have to make those decisions. And if Lewis Hall is playing well and if he's fit and available, I think I will be doing that move and playing it that well. Sanchez, I think he's starting. Gabriel against Spurs, not ideal, but he scored in the other fixture. Gvardiol against Brentford, not ideal, but they are conceding goals. Trent against Forest, once again not ideal, but I will go for him. Hall here. Then Ismail Sarr against Leicester. I think it's a good move because Palace will have Leicester, West Ham, Brentford, Manchester United, 4 games where goals are coming, and then they have Ipswich in 28. So if you even avoid Everton and Fulham and Villa, then still have Ipswich. So I think it's a good move to be made, and Luis Diaz is time to be offloaded in my personal opinion, because you have to have some differences left, right and center. Then you go to Manchester City and Mbeumo. No, not ideal, but they are conceding goals and Mbeumo is amazing. Salah probably once again my captaincy option, as I don't think that this is the best. I don't know who is the best option in Gameweek 21, but I think Liverpool are going to do some damage there. Palmer is another option to go for against Bournemouth, because they are once again a team that they need to beat. Joao Pedro against Ipswich and Isaac against Wolves will complete the team. Then moving into Gameweek 22, I think here I will be rolling. So I will be benching 1000% Hall. I will be having Mbeumo, not 1000% because I can bench Mbeumo here and not play him against Liverpool, but I don't know if I want to do that. Probably will do it because I'm a Liverpool fan and I don't want to jinx it, but at the end of the day, it's a proper plan. Then I have Sanchez against Wolves, Gabriel against Villa, Ipswich, Trent against Brentford, and I don't want my clean sheet there gone from Trent. And then we have Lewis Hall. Palmer against Wolves, Salah against Brentford, the captains once again, and Ismail Sarr against West Ham, Chris Wood, Isaac and Joao Pedro with good good striking fixtures. Then we move to Gameweek 23, and here is the transfer that I will be making. I will most probably selling Gvardiol or selling Sanchez. So one of the two things will happen, and let's talk about the possibilities. So if I want to sell here Sanchez, it will be for Alisson. 1,000,000% it will be for Alisson, because he goes for 5.4. Let's put Ho on the bench. It hurts, but Ho should be on the bench this week if I'm not bringing a player. So yeah, Sanchez will go for Alisson. Let's say, let's amuse ourselves with that move. And he has Ipswich, then he has Bournemouth, and then he has Wolves and the Pro Bowl double against Everton. So this is a move that I plan to make. Another way to do it is to, instead of bringing Sanchez, sell Gvardiol, because Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle and Liverpool, and after that is Spurs, Forest. I don't think he's getting a lot of clean sheets and a lot of attacking returns, so I sell him here and I go for the mighty Virgil van Dijk. And I now have a double up in defense once again from Liverpool. This would mean that I'm having Rob Sanchez here, which is not ideal. So I can go and target another team with a nice double up, and that's Everton. Going for Brighton, Leicester, Crystal Palace, Manchester United. I think that picking Pickford might be a good shout out here, or I might just throw it. Another option is to go for a Brentford player, because after 23, those fixtures are pretty exciting. Spurs at home, West Ham, Leicester, Everton. I see myself doing a lot of moves there, but in general, I think that here going for something like Pickford will solidify my team as the best way possible. Brighton, Leicester, Palace and Liverpool. I know against Liverpool he's conceding, but if he keeps a clean sheet against Palace or Leicester, I think I'm in the money. Then we move to Gameweek 24, and here is the fixture where I sell Joao Pedro and most probably bring Johan Wissa. And I have Mbumo and Wissa, I have Isaac, I have Wood. You're going to say Isaac has a hard fixture on, but he scores in those fixtures. So I'm double Liverpool defense with Pickford, with Gabriel facing City, but I'm never having issues with that. West Ham, Bournemouth, Spurs, United. Great. In game week 25 comes probably a double week here for Liverpool, and I have Gabriel against Leicester, Pickford against Palace, Virgil and Trent doubling up, Pickford doubling up as well, even though one is Liverpool. It's not the end of the world. Wolves here, West Ham, Everton, Manchester City, Fulham is not ideal, but still I can keep Chris Wood. And then moving into game week 6, I see myself selling Wood and going for the mighty favorite Cunha, who then will have Bournemouth, Fulham, Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Ipswich, so on. And I'm in the money, and I have one transfer in hand. I have a playing bench, and I think I'm in a pretty good position. So probably next week I'm doing, and that's why I'm going for Sar instead of Eze, because I want the funds to do that, and I don't think Crystal Palace are that of a different team if I go for Eze or Sar, just in my general opinion. So Sar. After that is probably rolling. After that is bringing in Virgil and Pickford probably for those double ups and good fixtures. After that is selling Joao Pedro for Wissa, and after that is bringing in Cunha, and I think I can move forward with this team for several weeks. I can then sell Virgil if I'm not happy against Manchester City and bring a defender with the next 3 fixtures that I think are going to do well. For example, someone like 8 Nuri can be a possibility. City are still with a bad fixture on United, no way. I can go for a double Arsenal defense here in 25 up until, but it's hard to go. Chelsea will be on the horizon probably, so we'll see what can happen. I can honestly keep Virgil and be happy with it, but yeah, that's the plan up until game week 25. After that, we have plenty of time to see it. So yeah, if you want to point out something that I'm missing, go and share it down in the comment section. It will be very much appreciated. But I think it's a pretty good plan, and I think I'm bringing safe players with good overall percentage and with good fixtures. So if someone arises, of course, this plan can change, but for the information that we have now, this is going to be the plan. Of course, at the end of every video, we say thank you to the members of the channel. Seth Foreign with 25 gifted, Zach and Oscar Papa. Very big thanks to all of you guys. If you guys are watching and want to become members, here are the prices that you have to pay. Those are in British pounds. Of course, they will vary for your currency. If you don't have the possibility to support me financially, you can always like, subscribe and comment down below. This helps the algorithm massively. You can join the mini league, you can do all of those amazing stuff. It's completely for free. Thanks so much for watching. Tomorrow we will have deadline news ready for you to prepare on, and then on Saturday, of course, a deadline stream, and this will conclude this week's FPL views. And then we're in a little bit of a break, so I might spread the videos around more and focus as well on UCL fantasy, but we'll see how it's going to go. Thanks so much for being part of the channel. Once again, subscribe, like, comment, do all of those great stuff, and I will see you soon with more FPL and UCL fantasy content. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.